So hello. This is Alex, and together with me in my amazing studio is Christian. Actually, your name is not Christian; it's Kristaps.
Yes.
So all the way from Latvia. So how would you introduce yourself?
Well, as I was saying to everyone that my name is simply Kris, because the rest is simply way too complicated for people who do not speak my native language. So, but yeah, simply Kris.
All right. So simply Chris. Actually, he's not very simply. This gentleman is achieved a lot of goals during his onboard life. And today we're going to be talking about him, about how he achieved those goals, what he went through, so you guys could understand how can maybe you in the future apply for this job and have a fantastic life here on board. So, Chris, tell me please, what was your hiring process? How did you apply? And yeah, tell me about this more in details, please.
Okay, so yeah, my hiring process was through an agency
You can hold me.
back in my country. So I saw an advertisement to try to apply it. So I did. I put all my paperwork, my CV, and I started to go for an interview. At that time, I did not know that there is possibility to apply directly to NCL, so there is no problem with sending an email with jobs which they are posting on online to go without a agency who is hiring, because they simply make the transaction between emails which you send directly and goes through them. And that it is possible to do by yourself, sending an email to them.
Right. So you didn't go anywhere, right? You just apply online.
I applied online in an agency back in my country because I did not spend enough time in Google. So yeah, other than that, then I had to wait approximately 3-4 weeks till interview, and then in approximately 3 months I was on board.
Right. So tell me, please, how long you're already on board, and what is your position at the time? Well, let's say, what was your position when you start, and what is your position now, and how long it take for you to get that promotion?
Okay, so when I started, I was onboard photographer, which was back in 2013, first 8th of January, when I joined first, actually Norwegian Spirit. So yeah, it was 3.5 years ago. So I joined as photographer. In my second contract, which was approximately 6 months later on, I became a lab technician, responsible for all the printings, for quality control. Afterwards, I was back as photographer for 2 contracts, and ended up as assistant photo manager again on Norwegian Spirit, and at this point I'm the photo manager on board. So it took me 3.5 years, or this is my contract number 6, and yeah, just being patient.
So yeah, photo manager, this is the highest position in your department. Am I correct?
This is the highest position on board in this department, yes.
All right. So tell me, what was your expectation when you were just planning to go and work on a cruise ship? Maybe you were just, thinking to travel and get some money, some experience, or that was your goal to become a manager?
Well, that's an interesting question. My goal actually when I started was to make some money, because, well, in my country the salary is not the highest one.
Oh, tell me about it.
So yeah, so it's not the best one. I do not want to say any statistics because might not be accurate. But yeah, so I joined the cruise ship just to get some extra money. Started as photographer. Was interesting, was fun, and I wanted to see how high can I get. So I was trying to learn, get all the trainings required to step up higher. But yeah, it's not as simple as it is. You have to be really patient, and there are the ups and downs, and as long as you're patient and motivated, you get there.
Right. Thank you very much. So, as I understand, were you planning this job? I mean, sometimes people say that they were dreaming about this job like since childhood. Something happened with you like this, or you just, by coincidence, someone said, "Oh, there is some opportunity," or
Well, I love taking photos. I have been fascinated by photography since I was a kid. Uh, I started to take seriously photos around high school. Got my first DSLR camera in first year of university. So I quit university after the second year and ended up somehow here.
so,
I wasn't planning to get the photo manager's job. Was not my dream job when I was a kid. I love taking photos, but once I came on board, I saw the opportunity and I decided that that will be my goal.
All right, thank you very much. So actually, you answered to my question about the background in this job. Let's say like this. But thank you, thank you. We continue. A lot of people who are interested in a job on board in different, not only with our company. I mean, just generally
Yeah.
to work in different departments. They're concerning about their English. They think that the English level is not that high, and well, there's a lot of, let's say, expectations. They think that they have to be very perfect. Tell me about how did you learn English?
Well, for me, English it was from grade 1 when I started at school. So from age of 6, I started to learn English. However, in my team, I had people who do not speak fluently in English, who get on board and who are struggling with English, which is not a problem. Because the easiest way is when you are in an environment where you don't have a choice, so you are forced to learn it. And that is the quickest way how to learn the English. Because you are there and you do not have pretty much any other choice. So if you have the basics, in approximately 1 to 2 months, you can pick up the language to get to the fluent level. Because there is no writing, there is no reading required. It is just verbal conversation, which is the easiest part of it. And yeah, additional to everything, there is also on our company at least the Rosetta Stone to learn English as well.
Oh, tell me about this more.
So yeah, on Norwegian cruise lines, for crew members there is possibility to learn languages. Like if you want to learn Spanish or German or French or English, there is so-called Rosetta Stone program with Norwegian cruise lines, so you can practice on your free time English, the proper words and tenses and all the theoretical stuff that you need to know to sound more professional. So there are no mandatory requirements in how good level you have to be. As long as you pass a job interview, no problems there.
All right, Kris. Thank you. Basically, what we want to say about the English that there's some jobs which require just, let's say, basics. As long as you're an open-minded person and you're willing to communicate and learn, let's say you can improve your English here. Of course, you have to speak enough and understand enough to deal with the people on board.
Understand is the
Right.
most important
Yeah,
part.
the understand is very important. Talking about understanding and communication, tell me, how do you manage to deal with so many people? Because I know that even in your department, it's approximately 10 people, right?
Yes.
Like under you. There's people from Philippines and I don't know, Portugal and whatever. What is the secret? How do you manage, to deal with all those people?
Again, for me, everything is about listening, because we all want to be heard, regardless of the position of your influence or whatever. That you want that someone listens to you, and if they give me 100% effort, I try to make people's life way more easier. That's it. As long as everyone is dedicated, you get an agreement with everyone, and it just works out. No secret there.
Thank you. Tell me a few details. We're almost about to finish, but tell me about more details about job as photographer. Just imagine you receive and you hire a person who just applied for this job, and he's right here. And let's say, what few I don't know, advices would you give for the person? Or maybe you could give some advices for the person who joining your division, so what he should know before joining the ships?
Okay. So before joining the ships, that first thing, it is not 5-day workday. It is 7 days a week.
All right.
So as photographer, it's always early mornings when we are in port. And we are working for from 2 to 4 hours during when the guests are leaving. Then pretty much on all the ships in our company, you have pretty much the whole day off until the time when the ship is leaving. So there is always gap in between in the port days. Then in the evening, it's few options that there will be either working in a gallery, engaging with the people, working on portrait studios while taking photos, making people look good, which is what we mainly do, or going around the restaurants, getting people taking their photos while they are eating, they are dressed up, having a good family time. Other than that, the work is not hard, it doesn't break the bones. You need to pay slightly more attention. It requires attention to details, to how people are looking like, so they would look better. There is always training on board to get everyone up to the standards. So regardless of the level of knowledge, it can be someone who is just passionate about photography. It can be someone who has learned way more advanced about photography, to get everyone at the same level, because work dynamics is different. We have trainings for all the new hires, which are several sections, starting from all what we are doing in gallery, what we are doing on gangways, all the parts of our jobs. I have a separate training, which is either done with me or with my assistant, which we are going through. And yeah, so far I have seen that everyone is very welcome to them, very supportive, and they should feel like home in no time.
Thank you very much. Actually, there's so many things I would like to ask you. Kris is very actually interesting person, and he speaks several languages. He very successful, I think, with his how can I say that?
Journey.
With journey, yeah. And tell me, do you have a time, let's say, to have some relationships? Let's be honest, because we know we are all young people, and I mean there's like 900 people on this ship. I'm talking about the crew, so it's possible, of course, to we have our crew area, right, where there's a crew bar and a crew mess. So
Crew gym.
crew gym. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, which I'm using not that often, but anyway. So is it if there is possibility to have some private life, let's say like this, and if you managing to have it, if you could just share it.
Well, there is a will, there is a way. You know, it is always possible to have it. It is always possible to do, regardless on your position. There is time, of course. You can always find time, but yeah, that is all sacrifice. You are sacrificing your free time, your time off, your sleeping time. Then again, it can be not sacrificing; it can be combining.
Right.
So yeah, it is possible. But at this point, well, I'm having approximately 1.5 months left of working, so I'm just making sure that I'm doing my best performance at work at this point, and then the time will show.
Um, Thank you, Kris. You mentioned that you're going home, well, soon, comparative.
Relatively.
Relative, yeah. So, tell me how people who work on board, who basically traveling around all the time, how do they spend their holidays? Well, particularly you.
Well, on my last vacation, I went to Philippines to travel because,
Alright.
yes, you know, our only expenses are when we want to buy beer or we want to go outside to eat local food. Other than that, all our money stays to us. I do not have family back home. I do not have a wife or children, so pretty much all the money stays to me. So last vacation I went to Philippines. At this point, I'm still planning what to do. In my country, it's cold. It will
Tell
be
me about it.
It's gonna be middle of autumn, close to the winter. So yeah, I might go somewhere to Latin America. I might go again to Asia. I might go somewhere where it's warmer. So if there is a will, there is a way.
All right. So if you see a man with a big backpack and a huge camera like this, it might be Kris in somewhere in your country. We almost about to finish. The last question, or let's say, I would like you to give some words of wisdom, or let's say, I would like you to motivate somehow people who might be watching this video, people who struggling with the information about this job. Because to be honest, I was there. I was, dreaming about this job, but the information, it's just, let's say, you can find it very portionally. Somewhere, something here, something right there. So once again, the purpose of this video to get acquainted people who want to work on the cruise ships with actually life on a cruise ship, how it looks like, and it's actually amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. So maybe few advices from you. What would you say, me? Like some motivational words.
Well, first of all, you have to be ready for change, because you know that switching from land to the ship, it is 180 degrees,
Challenge,
if not
right.
even more, because you are working, living, and relaxing in your workplace. So that is important that you are willing to the change. Be patient, because not all the success comes immediately, so it will take time. And as long as everyone is open-minded, there shouldn't be any problems while working on the ship. There is a way how to step up, how to get promoted, how to get the money for you or for your family, and just have to be patient and motivated. That's it.
Well, thank you very much, Kris. There was Kris from Latvia. My name is Alex from Ukraine, and thank you all for watching. And I wish you a good luck. Thank you.